Hi there, I hope you are doing well. I'm Thando, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. Welcome. I hope you'll stay and you'll like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. All right. Thank you. So today I just wanted to do a quick video about. Sorry, I was eating some sweets. I wanted to do a quick video about what I do, my job, what my job and the industry that I'm in, right? So if you are not new here, if you have been here, if you've been here, you've been an oldie on this channel, you know that I've done a video like this, I think 2 years ago, 2022, if I'm not mistaken, at my previous job. So it's pretty much the same video. So if you've seen that other video, it's the same thing. Nothing new here. It's the same thing. So I work in the food industry. I work for a food testing laboratory, and we specialize in food testing for microbiology and chemistry. Yes, let's just say that. Microbiology and chemistry, right? I'm trying to explain this in as simple as possible. The reason why I'm doing this video, well, obviously, this is a channel about biotechnology, and most of my audience is biotechnology viewers. So that's why I do videos for them mostly, especially these educational ones. But the reason why I'm doing this video more than anything was the other day I was at the shop and I was wearing my work jackets with branding. So the guy asks me, the guy assisting me, he's like, what do you do? Like, where do you work? And I tell him, and he's like, what do you do? And I say, I test for food. And he's like, you test in? What are you testing on the food? And I'm just like, I was grappling. Is it grappling or grappling to find the right words, because I didn't know how to explain it. So I just said, we just test right. So, but basically, yeah, that's what I do. I work in laboratory sales. So I am in the sales aspect of it, right? So I work for a food testing lab, which I work for the sales department, right? So let's start with the food testing lab itself, right? So what we do is we are a food testing company, right? A lab, rather. We test for food. Basically we test for food safety so that the food complies. We ensure that food is safe. So we test the microbiology aspect of it. The microbiology would be bacteria. So this is now your listeria. Remember there was an outbreak, listeriosis, in 2018, right? So that's where laboratories come in, where they test the food to ensure that there's no outbreak, there's no person or people or children or the elderly who are going to consume a food product and get sick from it. So we test that the bacteria in the food is safe enough to consume, and it's not going to make people ill, it's not going to cause food poisoning, it's not going to cause diarrhea, it's not going to kill people. Basically, we're ensuring that. So that's the microbiology aspect of it. We test different microorganisms, your listeria, like I said, total bacterial count, your E. coli, coliforms. So that's why when you come out of the bathroom, you need to wash your hands, especially after doing the number 2, because there's bacteria in your feces, which is E. coli, and the bacteria that stays in your hands. So that's why when you wash your hands, after you do the number, you must wash your hands before touching food, because that's cross-contamination. So there's different bacteria. If you're doing biotechnology, you know that bacteria is everywhere and we can't prevent it. But we need to keep bacteria at a certain level, especially in food, so that it doesn't make us ill. Sharp. That's the microbiology aspect of it. And then there's the chemistry aspect of it. Chemistry analysis is your nutritional analysis. So, like for example, these sweets that I'm eating, I bought them at Pep, right? So you'll see at the back of a food product, there's this nutritional label. You see? So we also test that. So your energy, protein, glycemic, carbs, fats, fiber, sodium, your vitamins, all of that. We test for that as well. We also test for, there's a wide range of tests, right? So there's like aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are basically toxins that are caused by viruses, right? So these toxins are found in food, and they're harmful, they're not good, right? So food companies would then test for those type of toxins, because there should be like a specification where the number of toxins should be more or less this. If it's more than that, it's gonna cause harm, so it's not acceptable. So that's where we come in. If you are in the food industry, you may or may not have heard a few, I think months ago, I don't know when it started, but there was like an outbreak, a peanut butter, where a lot of peanut butter products were being recalled from the shelves because they had aflatoxins. So these toxins, I remember I saw on LinkedIn, I could be wrong, but Woolworths also recalled, I think, their peanut butter ice cream, because it also had these mycotoxins in them. So that's where we come in. So that's in a nutshell what the lab does. There's a whole lot of other tests we do. We also test for water. So drinkability, we call it drinkability. So basically we want to ensure that the water is safe to consume. We test that water. We test food, all kinds of food. We test your molds, your yeast in your molds. You know, when bread has mold, but because there's a certain acceptable level of the mold that can be in the bread. If there's too much of it, it's going to make people sick. So that's why food companies need to test on a regular basis to ensure that the bacterial range is limited. What else do we do? We do pesticides analysis. So pesticide analysis, in agriculture, like your crops and farming. I don't know, I'm not very knowledgeable about that section, but basically in a nutshell, if I'm to explain it, it's basically testing the if there are any pesticides residues that are left over in maybe fruits or vegetables. So like a client would say to us, listen, I produce oranges or lemons, and I would like you guys to test these lemons for pesticides residues, because I want to ensure that the residue is as low as possible so that it doesn't make people sick, because they spray their crops with pesticides so that the crops so that the crops are not killed. Yes. Yeah, understand. You get what I'm trying to say. So that's what we do in our food testing lab. Where I come in then as a salesperson is my job is to look for clients and to ensure that the clients are happy. I'm basically the middleman between the lab and the client. So firstly, I'll go find the clients and say, hey, listen, you are producing a food product, juice, mazimba, bread, whatever food product you are producing. What are you testing on it? Because it is a regulation in South Africa that when you are selling food, you need to have testing, you need to have a food safety system in place, to ensure that your food is safe. So that's where I come in, and then I sell the services that we do. I explain to you that we do food testing, we can do this for you, we can do that for you, we can test this for you, we can test your water. We also do hand swabs. Yes, that's another thing I forgot. We do hand swabs. So we swab. So the workers that work with the food factory, they have to, their hands must get swabbed and tested because they work directly with the product and they touch their product. So obviously, if, like I said, if you come from the toilet and you don't wash your hands are going to be dirty. Now you go back to your factory and then you're busy touching bread, you're contaminating the product. Obviously the product is going to have high counts of bacteria. So we also need to ensure that workers are also washing their hands and keeping them clean and sanitizing and all of that. So we also test hand swabs for their hands. So that's where I come in. I look for these companies, big or small, who might be interested in food testing services, and then I sell the service to them. And so that's like new clients. And then existing clients, is my job is to make sure that my client is happy. If my client says to me, hey, listen, your lab is bringing my results late, I'm the one who needs to call the lab managers and say, hey, listen, what are you doing? I need my client's results. They are due. My client needs their results. So that's what I do in a nutshell. And if a client is complaining, this customer complains, maybe the product wasn't tested properly, or they didn't test the correct tests, or whatever the case may be, I'm then the one who needs to go back to lab managers and see what went wrong, what did you test, what didn't you test, what should you have tested. Basically my job is to ensure that the client is happy. That's it. My phone is ringing. That's my job. My work phone is ringing. I'm about to step in a meeting in like 30 minutes. So that's my job in a nutshell. I basically sell a service in food testing. What did I study? I studied biotechnology. If you are new here, I studied biotechnology. I did a national diploma at the University of Johannesburg, and I then did an advanced diploma last year in quality. What else? My first job, I did in-service training in QC. I was not in QC, well, in QC / food safety. So I was a food safety trainee for a year at a food manufacturing company. I don't think I'm allowed to mention company names on this channel, but we were manufacturing biscuits. The name is we were manufacturing biscuits. It's a big biscuit factory. You know it, everybody knows it. It's famous. They make tennis biscuits. So that's what we did. We manufactured. So I worked there for a year, and then I moved to another food testing lab where we tested. My apologies. I was home alone and I was shooting in peace. Now people are back home. Let me close this off. Where was I? Oh, I was doing my in-service in food safety training, and then I moved over to work for a food testing laboratory where I was a sales assistant there, which is similar to what I'm doing now. But obviously, you grow in the ladder. But I'm still working in laboratory sales, and I was working in laboratory sales previously. I worked at the company for about a year and a half, and I'm now new at my new company. So that's that. I'm doing this video to say, especially to biotechnology students or biotechnology graduates or aspiring, you must broaden your options, right? A lot of people are aware of the QC jobs, the lab jobs, lab technician jobs, but not so much the sales department. I'm not promoting the sales department because it's easy or anything like that. No, if you're a person who can't deal with people or clients, then it's not gonna work out. It's tough. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to glamorize it. It's tough. But I mean, if you are that person, you love selling, you love interacting with people, with clients, it could also be an option for you. I know that the sales industry is broad. It's broad even in other industries. It's not just the food industry, but also cosmetics industry, like pharmaceutical industry, engineering industry. I know, who was it? I don't know what they were doing, but they were in the sales, but in like engineering. So sales is very broad. Look into it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I don't know. But yeah, if you are doing biotechnology, all the best. We are halfway through the year, so if you are a student, all the best for that. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. Also feel free to connect on LinkedIn and ask questions. I know I've had maybe 3-4 people reach out to me on LinkedIn. But that was back then when I was still doing the biotechnology videos. So connect with me on LinkedIn if you are doing biotechnology and you might have questions. I don't know, maybe questions about the industry, you know. So yeah, look into that, guys, and all the best. All the best. Don't ask me about jobs, please. Please don't ask. I've once had a person say I must hook them up with a job. I'm like, guys, don't feel like I don't know. You must just look. Utilize LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your best friend, so you better make use of LinkedIn. Okay. Cheers.